Alright guys, here we're going to talk about the movie Tremors. 1990s Tremors, Lee. Had you seen it before?
Of course.
Yeah, this one's pretty classic. Had you not seen this one, I would have been a little surprised.
You'd be worried. You'd be like, oh, he forgot he saw Tremors.
Honestly, if you said I missed any of like the 6, I'd be like, what the fuck? There might be 7.
I don't know if I've seen all of them.
This guy. And they let you work in a video store.
I would recommend, if the last Tremors you saw was not the first Tremors, go back and watch the first Tremors, and then stop watching Tremors after that. So that if you die, the last Tremors that's freshest in your mind will be this one. Because this is a masterpiece. I love this movie.
I'll say the first 4 are honestly
fine,
pretty rare gems.
Just as long as you put this one as the last one, so you can die.
Get some bacon.
So you can die clean, and you'll be all right. No, it's obviously good, right?
Yeah, no, it's a fun creature feature movie. Pretty classic.
But, it was so refreshing to go back to it and to be like, this is good. As opposed to usually when I'm like, okay, I was a kid, I was a moron, I actually don't know what's good. But this one is highly defensible and of good quality.
Most definitely. All right, guys, if you've seen it or don't care, falls over to spoilers, and if not, pull out now.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
All right, so here we are for the spoilers of Tremors. Lee, let me hear them spoiler-filled thoughts.
You can't spoil Tremors. No, I'm shocked at how good it is. Because I liked it, and I was ready to defend it. I was ready to be like, in all fairness, this isn't good, or that's too much, or this is that. The movie's perfect. It might be a perfect movie.
It's pretty darn good.
I was shocked.
The box on this one, I remember throwing me off for a long time. Like seeing the box in video stores and before having seen it. The box, at least the original box, is just a zoom in on one of the grabbers. Like it's not the actual thing.
Right.
And I think that made me think oh, it's like a T-Rexy alien monster thing. Oh yeah, and
because it doesn't even look like a snake mouth. It looks like we're not looking at it. It's on the tape. But yeah, because it's like misleading. You think it's gonna be like a carnosaur or something.
Yeah, I kind of got a carnosaur vibe, in a cavern was what I was picturing, or maybe
cavern
like a canyon or like
canyon
something.
Canyon-saur.
That was what I thought going into this, and I was like, for the first time. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this isn't what I expected at all. It's like such a fun, weird movie.
Broke into the wrong goddamn rec room, didn't you bastard?
Well, and in my memories even, I'm like, you're filtering that. There's racial stereotypes, and the whole town is boring and sucks, and there's probably too much of oh, we're arguing about oh, we gotta put it in a museum and blah blah blah, and Bert's blow it up, and I'm like, it's probably bad. There's probably some good parts that my childlike brain. No, the whole thing is good.
The phone is dead. Walter, your phone is dead. I didn't do it. Nectar, what's happening? Somebody killed old Fred. What should we do? What's going on?
Now look. Yeah.
It starts with it starts with this happy ass music. Literally, it starts as one movie, like a buddy comedy about these two men at work F-up guys who are gonna go to the big city and do whatever, but get stuck in their little town. And the minute Kevin Bacon climbs the thing to see that the guy's dead, you are torn into this other movie, this creature feature.
Yeah.
They stop playing that happy music. It's only in the beginning to mislead you. I didn't even notice that for the last 30 years. This movie's amazing.
I think that they could have done a lot of subversion stuff, and I read something that
like a fake trailer about something.
Well, so watching it this time, as I'm the oldest and most film adept.
You're the oldest you ever been?
Exactly. I'm watching it going, oh, they missed a lot of opportunities here and there. They could have done this thing because you didn't see the creature for a long time. You could have almost framed them as the murderers in this thing. And there was a thing on IMDb where they're literally saying that they didn't want to show as much of the monster, but the studio was like, oh no, you got to have more creature deaths and more this and that. They weren't originally going to reveal anything until the hard hat gets found, and you're like, oh, that death was going to be the one where they get dragged by the wire. Oh no, this is some real shit. And I think that it would have been a better movie, honestly, if you made it really ambiguous and went into this if you went into a movie and the trailer was cut and such where you just thought it was a killer, and all of a sudden it's fucking these snake monsters from underground, you'd be like, holy shit, what am I watching?
Murderer, man, a real psycho. He's cutting people's heads off.
Because it has a built-in, and I think the trailer might have Bert with the shovel, like poking it under the car or something.
Hey, it must have grabbed us.
It has a built-in 2 layers of this thing.
Yes.
Where at first it looks like that's a weird, snake in the in the desert.
Could be a snake. Some kind of mutation.
And then it's like attached to this giant, like I don't know, grub. What are these things? What do
I
you
guess
call
that
these
would be
things?
the closest.
I don't know what the hell these are.
Well, it's like a monster from another world.
So like,
almost.
I loved as a kid just this whole idea of and like them explaining and the seismograph and it must move with these little things.
Yeah, it must push itself along with these.
And
Yeah.
like okay. I think as a screenplay, this is like perfect. The way that it sets up and pays things off, the efficiency of it, the dialogue. I think stuff might have been cut just to kind of be like, no, this is like, hey, we're still making movies the way you make movies back in the day. This is like a real movie almost. It has like all these trappings and all this stuff. So like, there's a lot there to get into. Like the movie teaches you things and then pays them off in a very satisfying way, like multiple times throughout the film.
Yeah, I love the town. I love this small little bullshit hick town and how like everything seems to be built illegally with no foundations.
Everything's made of corrugated aluminum and just plunked there in the
And
desert.
I'm like, I guess that's kind of how it would be. Like, who's checking your... And like a lot of states, especially in the South, especially during these times, we're like, there's no codes. Who gives a shit? What are you doing? In the middle of nowhere. Just build your house. Those doctors are just building a house.
Guy that's going to be over our roof every night when we're done.
What if we don't finish the roof? Then we can look at the sky all the time.
There's 2 people.
Yes, and the town being named Perfection.
Yeah.
And this like this is pretentious, but like that thing of like, it's like the Old West. It's like the frontier.
Yeah.
We're going out there to build the house and just live in this like random place or whatever. And then like nature just like bites you and is like, you're not allowed to do that. This is this belongs to us or something, right? Has a really and like just the whole thing that like it's not like the whole world is like under threat. It's not like
very isolated.
this like ticking thing, because how do you do like a real like horror movie? It has to be like they even say go get help and then they're like, actually wait a minute, you have to come save us because we're not going to last that long.
Yeah, well, this one's gonna tear this town out from under us. We're all gonna have to get out of here together.
Yeah.
But they could have gone to get help. Like, it isn't like these things were like 2 steps ahead and all this stuff was happening. Things just kept breaking down like throughout the movie.
No, it works nicely.
It's perfect. Yeah.
And the more they unpack, like this is a franchise that I enjoy. They've made lots of movies. There was a TV show.
She likes her shorts short. Tremors, the series, coming in 2003 on Sci-Fi.
So like, there's a lot more things that come back echoing through the other parts of the TV show and the movies that I enjoy. I like the cast is really good in this movie. You got like some big names in this movie.
Yes.
Fucking Kevin Bacon.
I forget all the names,
obviously
but yes,
big.
I was gonna say,
Bert was from
his name?
Family Ties.
Yeah.
Reba McEntire, his wife, which is her first movie.
Yeah.
She was a big music star. Her music is in this movie like 2 or 3 times. Like the car it's playing,
and the end credits
is playing.
They play the whole song.
Yeah.
She's like, yo,
I wonder how
signed
that
that
worked. If they were just like, oh yeah, we got it for free. Like, because it's not a small movie. Like they built an actual town for this movie. That's not a town that doesn't exist.
I mean, yeah.
As you can
I'm not
probably guess while watching. Yeah.
Yes.
The little girl from Jurassic Park is in this.
Hey!
I was gonna say, some people look like the older kid too looked familiar, but I didn't place them.
No way, man.
I didn't go looking to see who was from what or whatever on this.
He's like generic bully from things, but he's also in the Tremors series more.
Yeah.
He eventually becomes, I think, the mayor.
Of Perfection.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So I totally respect the other movies, and I will defend them if and when I have to.
Mm-hmm.
But for right now, I'm gonna say like I really like this movie and how you don't know about the ass blasters and the ankle biters or whatever the fuck else is happening yet. It's just this simple, straightforward like thing where you go like, okay. I appreciate how they elaborate on the life cycle of the graboids later and stuff.
It's
but
pretty great.
I like this a lot, just for what it is. And
I really like movie 4. Even
That's
though
so
like
deep.
most people don't like that one. Movie 4 is a flashback. It's the Old West.
Okay,
and I just like the Old West.
Sure.
On this movie, we were sitting in this meeting, and they said, we got to have Tremors 4, and we said, well, guys, you said Tremors 3 really, really was the last one. So I said, the only thing I can think of to do is, let's just put it in the Old West and pretend like Graboids shoot it in the Old West. And to my total shock, everybody said, oh, that's a great idea.
And that's what you should do with a franchise. You shouldn't just keep milking it in like one direction. You should branch off and be like, oh, it's Tremors in space now, right? We're mining this asteroid. We didn't realize something. Oh, shit.
That's where they came from.
Exactly. That's how they
I
came
was
from.
upset. They were supposed to do another series with Kevin Bacon, and they were talking about it for the last couple of years, and I think it finally got killed. They filmed the pilot.
Like recently?
And it never came out. Yeah, like last year or 2 years ago.
Oh,
or maybe
no.
just before the pandemic.
Wow.
But yeah, Kevin Bacon was all about it, because I think originally he was kind of like, oh my God, what did I do with this movie?
Oh,
but
no.
he's on record saying it was the most fun movie he's ever shot.
It looks like everybody's having fun. It looks like a lot of cool stuff was happening.
Because it's a weird movie where like it's almost all just camping, kind of like in quotes. Like
I like it.
There's not a lot of indoors, period, in this movie.
Right.
And that's its own challenge, because you're at night. It's like, okay, well, when it's day, this scene has to end, and during the daytime, it's getting dark. This scene has to end. Like you can only do so much, and I like that. Using natural light is always going to be easier and harder.
Oh, and like the desert is cool. Anything can happen in the desert.
I mean, God damn! What the hell are those things? And how could they bury a whole station wagon? Why would they do it?
One of the great American mythological locations and stuff. So yes, it lends itself to that, and you can there's a lot of outdoor stuff. There's a lot of realistic stuff. When they're like pole vaulting and things like that, I remember so many things in here make me like feel good, and I like them in different ways.
There's a lot of things that just fall apart if you want them to fall apart, like because these graboids can like react instantly.
Doesn't he have a home to go to? That's why Edgar never got down off that damn tower.
And oh, that shovel, got it, snapped it in half, got it. But like when they pole vault, it's not instantly like ripping poles out of the ground. And it is just for convenience sake, like, oh, let me take this building down when no one's making noise in that building, like, and things like that. But nothing really bothers me that much because the movie's fun, the characters are fun, you enjoy what they're doing and what they're saying, and like, it paints a real nice picture that I think is enjoyable from when I was like 7 to now. Like, there's not a real problem here. You may gravitate toward different parts of it for different reasons throughout the different ages I've watched this, but I've always enjoyed the movie.
No, and there's nothing that I would feel like I have to be like defensive about and say, okay, no, keep watching, it gets better. Don't worry, this part's bad. There's like nothing like that. And like to talk more to elaborate with examples on the screenplay, like having them rip off one of the heads, for lack of a better term, of one of the graboids.
Looks like the one that grabbed our truck. See if old Stumpy's still out there.
Well, it isn't our old pal Stumpy. Bastard. Look who it is.
Calling him Stumpy, having that guy be the last, graboid that they kill as well, right? Like finding a way to characterize them in some way. So it's not just this random, we have to kill the last one. This is the one who grabbed your car like yesterday and shit, right? This is like, wow, this is personal or something, right? Introducing those things. One other small moment when Bert's like, how much time you need on this, fuse? And he goes, 15 seconds. And you watch Bert like visually sizing up the fuse and like cutting it so that later when Kevin Bacon twists it off and like makes it much shorter, like the audience's brain immediately gets, and like that's an obvious thing, but they've they've established how this works, and like little things like that. I think the movie is
they call back to the stampede and then using that to kill the last one.
There's so many. It's near constant in a way that like yes, that's like basic film school, basic writing, but like. Not every movie does those things, okay? So like when I see them, it's like refreshing.
You can put them on the paper. It's not necessarily going to translate. Like there's a lot going into
and executes
filmed
them well.
nicely, and these actors can really take whatever's on that page and bring them to a different level. These are honestly all pretty great people. You have the Three Ninjas grandfather is there.
There are few places on the body that if you hit, the person will remember nothing except how much it hurts.
Know what to call him? Yeah, I don't know his name, but yes, that guy.
Yeah, I don't know his fake Mr. Miyagi. You can go with. I like him, and his death he might have the best death because he's like he's like ripped backwards in the fucking world.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And like the story of this series, kind of too, is that they've like. for the first 3 movies I know, every movie sheds one of these most core people. Like the first one you lose Bacon, then you lose Burt Ward, I think, and then it's just Burt in the movie.
Yeah.
It's just Fred Ward. Burt Gummer.
Burt Gummer, yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but yes, like they're dropping like flies to the point
Burt
where,
is the only constant. He is in every movie.
I thought he became like a parody of himself at a certain point, though. There's a part here that I like. The thing that I like the most is as they're driving off, he kind of like laments how like they were prepared for anything except this.
Food for 5 years, 1,000 gallons of gas, air filtration, water filtration, Geiger counter, bomb shelter, underground. Goddamn monsters.
The movie is simultaneously kind of validating this crazy gun nut who lives in the middle, of nowhere in the form of this character, but also how like it didn't work. You got screwed.
Well, that is a consistency.
It's very funny.
It's like, okay, I prepared for every eventuality, and now this new thing that I never knew about is now here. Wasn't prepared for that. And that same thing happens because, Graboids, underground. Then you got Screamers running across the ground. Then you have Ass Blasters flying.
Through the air,
each step is like, well, fuck me.
Exactly. It's like a theme of Tremors, which I really enjoy. Yeah.
I think the thing that I enjoy the most as they expound later on about the series is that this is just like, this valley that is surrounded by solid rock. And like, so like, all your graboids are stuck right there, so it's only ever your problem.
I haven't seen all of them, and well, I've seen enough to know that I don't want to see any more. But I've seen definitely the first 2. I didn't remember that or pick up on that though, because part of me, too, as like a kid, was like, did some tectonic plates like shift and these things came up from somewhere? Like, what's happeing? How did this come to be?
I forget if they ever explain how the first
origin
one started. Yeah. I assume just an egg, it gets hatched at some point. But
I would do like, well, they strip mined and like broke open this cave that had eggs in it, and it's like environmentalist or something. You do like a weird, thematic thing.
The biggest callback thing I remember is I think the town's name originally is Desolation.
Nice.
And then it gets like, oh, no one's become Desolation. Well, all right, we'll just change the name.
like
nothing bad will happen ever again.
Like in the Old West one, they like rename it. What? Oh, one last thing. Let's change the name of the town. Perfection.
Yes.
It's like, oh shit. It was in perfection all along.
Fuck you!
So this movie was originally getting like a hard R for language, and as you may or may not have noticed, I think that this was like I noticed the most this time. I'm like, oh, there's a lot of dubbed curse words in this movie.
Okay, I thought we got a copy of it that was like the TV version or something.
No.
This is the official
version, yeah.
Be advised, however, there are 2 more mother humpers.
Well.
Yeah, I think they cut all but 2 fucks because there was, you can see where they were. They were everywhere. Yeah.
There's one really egregious one, but I forget what it was or what it got changed to. It's like Kevin Bacon yelling something.
Can you fly, you sucker? Can you fly?
And like, I'm like, that isn't. He was like, this stinks face or some weird. I'm like, that's not what. No one says that. Like, what are you saying?
No, like Monday to Friday plane. That's my favorite one from Snakes on a Plane.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I have had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane. Everybody strap in. I'm about to open some freaking windows.
I'm sick of these graboids on this perfection.
Yeah.
The only thing that, because I'm always on ADR watch or whatever, specifically the kind where they're patching over something, because I've praised the screenplay for being perfect. There's one moment that stood out to me.
What do you got?
Where the dude crawls onto the tire.
Get off the ground! Move it! No, Nestor, that's no good! Come on, you gotta get higher!
And you hear Kevin Bacon, but it's off camera, say like, nah, man, that's not high enough. You got to get higher, right?
Yeah.
Because I think originally no one's yelling anything, and like the audience or some producer, someone watched it and was like, wait, what? And like someone had to be like, okay, well, we should really make it explicitly clear that
I do like he gets pulled like right through the center. Yeah, like it's like a Jaws moment. It's pretty good.
No, it's a great moment, but it stood out to me like you recorded this after, I think, to change the movie in some way, which I always go, fail.
Worst moment, I think, for me, like film-wise, is our little girl from Jurassic Park. She's jumping on her fucking pogo stick, and like Kevin Bacon's like, no, the monster's coming. He like tackles her off. She starts to cry, and you see her pogo stick is just standing upright, like the monster has just bit the very tip of the nub, and then shoots it down.
Yeah.
I'm like, eh.
So like that's some of the only stuff that borders on comedy again, where like things get like sucked down and like barfed back up in like a comedic kind of funny
like when it throws the
way.
grenade back, you're like, wait a minute, what?
I do like how it that bomb lands in all the other bombs.
Yeah, that's
I remember being like, that's awesome.
The insult to injury.
Everyone going fuck and all that stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of great like breaking stuff down. But even the pogo stick girls, like another example, you just see this chick pogo sticking.
Yeah.
For like a long time ago.
Sorry, Nancy. We're not delivering firewood anymore. We're heading for Bixby Permanent.
Oh, sure.
And then everyone's in the in the room like, okay, we'll be okay if we just don't make any noise.
No noise. No vibrations.
You like start hearing it in the background.
They
like,
address it really nicely too when she first comes on stage. Like, what are you up to? 6:49 or something. I'm like, okay, this is her thing.
Hey, Mindy, what's the count?
640.
You're in the middle of nowhere town. What would you be doing? Yeah, fucking
she has nothing else to
counting.
do.
Whatever.
No, and like normally that's the kind of stuff that I would call out in passing to say they tried to make an excuse, but something about this, they're like pulling all these things off.
Yeah, no,
I'm really impressed.
Again, it's probably part of it just because we like this movie, so a lot of things are gonna fly. But it's well done.
I'd forgotten all these things, and I was expecting to cringe at some of the stuff in the like the young kid who you say becomes the mayor later.
Mm-hmm.
They set this thing up where he's constantly fucking with them, or whatever.
I scared you, didn't I?
But again, like
where are your parents, asshole? What the fuck?
Like people's reactions to him, how it all plays out, how scared he gets once he really sees one for the first time.
Mail in! Where is that little shit stank?
It's all like when he comes out with it like a boa around his neck, it's got me, and they're all like, oh god, because Bert points the gun at him like he's gonna take care of it. He goes like what are you doing to me and all that stuff, and so later it's like the boy who cried wolf type of thing, but it's not like I feel like a worse version of the movie would take these major detours and pit stops to like here audience focus on this, but this is all just like
fluid
because every line is setting up or paying something off. You never feel like, oh, we're stopping here to set something up. It's just always moving and everything. So you go, yeah.
There's a part in the beginning where I think on every watch up until today, because I read things.
Oh my god.
I was like, yeah, Kevin Bacon, actor. You know, he's not a handyman. He fucking can't hammer that staple for the fucking life of him. That was a choice. He did that, or at least he says it was a choice. He did that on purpose.
When they're fixing the fence? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, and he's like, we are handymen, but yeah.
You can even look, and the reason I think I always thought it was real is because Bert's looking at him like he's giving a look like what the fuck? like they're not gonna take this take. We're gonna do this again. Like,
why didn't you stop acting? You fucked up. Okay, that's amazing.
I really like that.
Yeah, there's their whole relationship, the running gag.
They really have great chemistry.
The rock paper scissors.
Yeah.
Damn, I lost. Guess I'll have to do it.
I won. I pick who does it.
And just the whole one's a little older and one's a little younger, and he's
they
too short of himself.
Where you're like, wait a minute, how are you two friends? Like it almost it falls into a question.
But there's a vibe that works, but not in a cartoony way where it's
it's not an odd couple. Yeah, because they vibe so well.
It's a realistic. I'm
a little mad
gushing too much.
I learned that originally they wanted Bruce Campbell to be the Kevin Bacon part.
Oh my god,
Bruce, that would have been dope.
Bruce Campbell and Clint Howard were going to be the guys in this? That's amazing.
But Bruce Campbell, I want him in everything.
Yeah.
And I would definitely like.
He would have kept being in Tremors movies.
Oh yeah.
So
forever.
So even just for that, I would have said yes.
That probably would have elevated the franchise, honestly, dramatically if you would have had him in them, because they would have. Yeah, he would have been in every one of them.
There would have been a cult TV show revival of Tremors instead of Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Or both.
Oh my god.
A crossover. Holy shit.
Oh my god, the Graboids were actually Deadites.
Eventually you have El Blanco and he's helping them fight the Deadites. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Bert!
It's a little strange to me that for this subterranean creature, it doesn't have eyes, it just senses things, uses sound and vibrations, it doesn't have some sort of a send out, because when it runs into that wall and dies. You know, the first one we see get killed, you're like that seems a little strange because there are rocks in the world. You'd think at some point it would be traveling at a high rate of speed. It's weird that it could just kill itself so easily.
Yeah, like accidentally fuck itself over. Yeah, I think as a kid even I sort of was like, okay, well that is a like artificial concrete wall and it's used to like organic. Like I had some weird.
Maybe.
That's how I enjoy life. Is I just come up with reasons why the things in the movie are good and not say, oh, they're bad.
Because it's not that thick.
Yeah.
Like it's probably like this thick, which is the thickness, at least, of the slab of any house or building that should be built on this in this movie.
No,
but none of them have that. So
yeah, and it should be able to. What's got it going so fast there? It's just chasing.
It's
them?
chasing after them. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say. Because at the end, the explosion like chases it faster, and it whips. It's like displacing a lot of Earth and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I like all of that. I think that all makes sense. I like all the idea of things that burrow, like land shark style things. There's an episode of Hercules that has them. That was pretty fun.
Guys, come on!
In general, like it's a cool concept. Things coming up from behind, underneath you, and like it's terrifying.
Yeah, and like from because it is kind of like Jaws in a way, like you were saying, you know, it's like a comparable sort of thing where it's getting you and stuff. But even just the having to be quiet and it tracking you and like finding a way to find you and stuff, how they're kind of smart and everything.
Well, its ability to just be a patient stalker, like some sort of a tiger or a crocodile or whatever, and like the dude just he starves to death or dehydrates to death, just out of there waiting there for fear. You're like, oh damn.
That's its like hunting strategy.
Yeah, what do you do?
So like you know, ordinarily the animal or the person would fall out of the thing and it would just eat it and stuff, and you'd be like, oh, this guy went missing. What happened? We don't know. Meanwhile, he's for days stuck up on the pole and everything.
He looks like Bloodbath McGrath from Wild Wild West.
Are you feeling sleepy?
Yes, I'm sleepy.
Good. Now you're going to be my little doggy. And when I say speak, you're going to tell me everything I want to know. Understood?
From like an effects perspective, though, there's a lot of stuff that's like, even just having like the ground like bulge up and someone fall over a little bit or whatever, like that sells it so much more. And like, because a lot of times you're seeing, you know, like the monster and like the person has the gun and shoots and then he cuts to the monster. It's like cutting. They're not there together or whatever.
There's only one example of a really terrible blue screen that's in the basement is Bert in front of it and while they're shooting that. Like that looks absolutely horrible, but most of the effects are practical and look pretty great. Like with the street, the wood sidewalk, just like bustling out. Like, that's pretty good.
And it's kind of like the Jaws thing with like just like the fin or just like the whatever water stuff. You're just seeing displacement effects and things happening. But the people are there, so it's helping you to connect everything. Like part of why that blue screen, rescreen shot is so bad is that you didn't need it there. It wasn't like, oh, this is our finale where we tie it all together. And it makes it kind of breaks it a little bit. It makes it more obvious and stuff.
Well, it acknowledges that it is a miniature and this real thing happening in the same world. When you just cut from one to the other, you're not getting that, and you're like, okay, cool, because it's done really well until you put one over the other one.
When it starts thrashing and like breaks part of the ceiling and stuff, I was like, I can't believe this is. Yeah. This
you're
is
like,
so
is it going to
old.
go upstairs?
Yeah. What is it doing? Well, it's like so something's like bothering me down here. All these like bullets are annoying me, so I have to find some other way to burrow, and I can't. Oh no, what's happening?
Yeah,
I feel bad for the graboids.
I like they pump a numerous amount of lead into it. And
Magazine! Yeah!
Eventually kill the one in the basement, and then when you see him shoot again, the issue is that he can't get through the dirt to kill it.
You didn't get penetration even with the elephant gun.
Shit!
I would have liked it if they're just impervious exoskeletons and it wasn't the dirt that did it, and the only reason he was able to kill it in the basement was because he was shooting it through the mouth. I think that would have been a fun thing. They said that they threw away a part with the graboids because they're so sound-based. We're going to have the ability to replicate sounds and lure people off into like the desert and stuff. But they said that would give them too much powers, and they took it away.
That's interesting. Yeah, because this is like not based on anything, right? This is like an original. This is one of the last original IPs that ever came out.
Well, I think I read the writer liked Dune, and these are kind of like the Dune worms.
Nothing's original, but I mean, like, there's no comic with the graboids. You can tell they're flying by the seat of their pants.
Yeah, they changed them like on the making. He said they were originally it was going to be like one thing that peels back and the other snakes come out. They weren't like going to be in the mouth. And he said I think they built the test, it looked too penile, like, and the crew was laughing, and they said, "All right, something else."
All right, the sheath is pulling back and it's coming out. Yeah. No, and like there's a lot of ways you could go. Like they have a really good, like the way the jaw hinges together. It has a really otherworldly but like prehistoric look. So
I like that they're slimy too.
Oh yeah.
So like
when
the
they go to bite,
carapace is like dry because it's like, oh, that's in the dirt. But this is like, that's a tongue pretty much. It's coming out of the mouth. It should be wet, and I like that.
When it like goes and like it goes for something once and like misses the person.
Yeah, and leaves a slime.
Leaves all this goo behind. That's probably what we're talking. Yeah, exactly. That's awesome.
That's good stuff.
What kind of fuse is that?
Cannon fuse.
What the hell you use it for?
A cannon.
I really like the scene where they're like moving the dirt out of the way and like the headlights are shooting straight up and stuff. Things like that, I was always like, damn, that's
that
awesome.
was a scene that got cut short because they were shooting in reality with night and day. So the sun was coming up, they had to stop. Originally, she was going to kick through the front windshield, go across the top of the hood, and she was going to get killed. But instead, which I think actually works pretty fine, is her just died in there, because we saw the back window cave in, so we know that it can come right in and get her.
They show the dirt pouring in too, so you're like the sand, whatever, desert, dry dirt, right? I was talking about though, like the next day,
them
when they're moving it out of the way, Well,
because they can hear the radio, they're like, what is that?
Like, what is happening? Yeah. No, like that must be, because it's so strange and alien. It must be so weird. But I really like the different characters chiming in with different things and like conjecture and trying to like figure out the problem together. Like it really, I don't know. It's
I like them trying to come up with a name, and Chen's like Oid. I like Oid.
Or suckoids. Oids. Oids. I like snakeoids.
Oid in it somewhere. Exactly. Yeah.
Him paying $15 for it and then immediately exploiting it for $3 a picture, that's genius.
I'll give you boys $5 for this.
20.
10.
15.
Okay, 15.
Damn right, 15.
Mindy, smile.
Come on, honey. Don't look so afraid. It's not going to hurt you, I promise.
Mindy, look up. Smile.
Come on.
Hold
Tell you
it.
what, I'm 15 lousy bucks.
I told you so.
Man who plans ahead.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It helps to characterize those handyman guys as like short-sighted, not understanding like what they have and making bad decisions.
I do love that they kind of subvert what your expectation would be. You'd think they're going to get stuck in this town because they're offered this job. Oh, okay, fine. Next month we'll go do something else.
Right.
We just got this dinner, offering us beer and free sandwiches. This is fantastic. Honestly, it's pretty damn good because I don't know what else they were doing in their life. But that would have given them money to save up to actually start their life in a new city. But no. They have convictions.
We did it, we faced temptation and did not bend. Goddamn praise the Lord.
And they just say, fuck it, and they go and leave that woman to die.
Right, there's another version of this where they make it out, and it's just like, oh, everyone dies. Yeah.
I really do think it would have made a really great movie if they did do that whole beginning where you don't know there's a monster. There's no token shot where it comes at the girl seismologist. Okay. There's none of that business. I think that would have been such a. You could have, if you would have made it like an hour into the movie and don't know what's killing things.
Don't even know what's happening.
Oh my god! Like people would be talking about it forever. Oh, and the twist? Yeah, what the fuck? Like,
oh, interesting. Yeah. I didn't get that, but I understand that. I think like watching stuff now, obviously after like so long and the nostalgia and stuff, like I see the little bits and it all adds up in my head. And I'm all like, ooh, I love it so much or whatever. But yeah, maybe the order of it.
I get to see the painting of this really great horror movie because in your head, you're in this small town of 14. The population is 14. That's nothing. Yeah. Like, so when one person dies, you're like, a large percent of the town just died. And now people keep dying. You're like, well, what do we do? There's no way out of here. Oh, we have no vehicles. vehicles. Oh, like, because imagine if the vehicle just kept getting like sabotaged type of thing.
Right,
like,
right.
Like, well, what's happening? Well, every time someone dies, you're the one telling us about this. I think it's you guys. Like, but it's not us, I swear.
No, you have like a sheriff like, weren't you all about to leave town? He's like, well, yeah, but it's like, nah, listen. And you're like, oh shit.
Maybe don't go anywhere, and that's the reason they get stuck there.
That gets cliche though, but I do understand what you're saying. Even have that like other like, oh, she's the new seismologist, and then they go somewhere and they find
the old
seismologist truck, and there's like blood, and it's like, what? Oh no, they didn't. Well, no, we'll just call Gary back at the university, and it's like I can't reach him because he's dead around the corner where no one looked in this tiny desert. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of directions they could have gone to build that suspense, but they did lean more toward the comedy angle here, and I think that it worked, and obviously it made so many movies, a TV show. This is a successful franchise.
Who are we to question the wisdom of? I forget. I didn't even see who directed this or who made this, but I'm sure it's somebody who's good.
So Tremors is a shit.
Way to go, dude!
No, Tremors is pretty great. I think Tremors 1 is awesome. Tremors 2, pretty good as well. Tremors 3 brings it back. Tremors 4. That's my steez here. The other ones, we started getting Jamie Kennedy involved. It's pretty decent. In general, Tremors is just fun. I think if you like Tremors, you're going to keep liking Tremors.
Hey, Earl, here's some Swiss cheese and some bullets.
Thanks, Walter.
Oh yeah. No, I think like Tremors, as they've made more Tremors, each Tremors, it's like Britney Spears songs. She'd work with different producers and just make totally different songs. You'd have Slave all of a sudden because she worked with Pharrell and those guys, right? It's like that, except it's just like whatever crappy people make movies now. They're like, let's make a Tremors movie.
I mean, what the hell is going on?
And the budgets have gotten dramatically lower, and we're now higher into CG than we are practical effects, which is always going to hurt the final product.
No, I would say things are getting weird in the Tremors zone. I didn't see the cold one, but I know that there's one.
It was decent.
There's one we watched that was bad.
I found the ass end!
We watched one on an island. There's one in Africa.
There's one where he goes to jail. He's doing it's Tremors Halloween special now, because that's the one day they can go out because it's Halloween.
I'm familiar with the series.
Please, I know you don't have to say these stuff.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch,
and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
Ooh, I broke a nail.
Makes my skin crawl.
Cannibal Video has everything you need. A wide array of VHS and DVDs. We ate the competition, now it's only us. Our expert staff opinions you can really trust.